What's up, book space? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I will be doing the book recommendation tag. I've seen a lot of girlies on YouTube on the book talk world doing this video, and I want to hop on the trend. So we're gonna start off with 15 questions, and I'm going to basically show you guys the books that I would, recommend to people, or what book is my guilty pleasure and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into the video. The first question is a book you tell people is your favorite. And the book that I'm always telling people is my favorite has to be this one, Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I absolutely love this book. I recommend anybody who haven't read this book to read this book. They already came out with another one, Things We Hide from the Light, which is Lucien, who is Knox's brother. This book is about Knox and Naomi. Naomi come to knock him out to, see what her sister needs, and her sister end up stealing all her belongings and leaving her with her child. And Naomi basically have to figure out how she's going to go from having no children to having to raise a whole little human being. I absolutely love this. Grumpy Sunshine. I love this book. So if you haven't read Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, I suggest you read this book. 5 out of 5. The next question is a book that is your guilty pleasure. Now, I do not have the physical copy of this book. It is the Mindfuck series. I absolutely love that book. It's amazing. It's like, if you haven't read the Mindfuck series, you should really read that book. It's about this girl, and she's a serial killer. She's basically killing people for a good reason, but I don't condone violence, but she's doing it for a good reason. And she ended up meeting this guy who's a detective who is actually working on her case. They end up dating and fall in love, and he didn't know he was dating a serial killer. Like, crazy. Absolutely love that book. If you haven't read the Mindfuck series, you should read it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. The next question is a book everyone loves but you didn't. Now, this might ruffle some feathers, and I really think I'm weird for it, because I actually like, let me show you the book. I did not like Love in Other Words like that. Like, I gave it like a 3-star. It wasn't like I don't know. I may need to reread it, but I don't know why I didn't like it. I just don't like it. But the crazy thing is, I actually enjoyed Every Summer After, which a lot of people say remind them of this book. I just don't like this book for some reason. I think I need to reread it to see, because I probably was in a book slump when I read this, so I probably need to dive back in it. So I am going to give it another try to see if it was just me. It could have possibly just been me, but I wasn't feeling this book for real. So, but I'm sorry about that. But I'm gonna reread it. I'm gonna give it another try, because I feel like I may have been in a book slump when I started reading that, and that didn't help. But a book that I read the fastest has to be The Housemaid. I read this book in one sitting. I was so intrigued by this book. Like, I'm not a thriller girly, a thriller mystery girl. So when I opened this book to read it, I flew through it, because what in the actual I was so shook by this book that I just had to keep going to know what happened, or what, like, I just wanted to know what was going on in this book. If you don't know, it's about a maid. Her name is Millie. Millie ended up working for the Winchesters, but they had this kind of dark secret. Everybody thought the wife was crazy, but come to find out, that wasn't what it was. But Housemaid. They got another book called Housemaid Secrets that I'm going to dive into soon, because I think I'm going to start reading mystery thrillers now. So we're going to dive into the second book in this series soon. The next question is a book that deserves more hype. A book that I read that deserves so much hype has to be Mary Jane. This book is so good. I enjoyed this book so much. Like, this is another book that I sped through. This book was amazing. It's about this girl named Mary Jane. It's basically like a coming to age book, where she's basically...
Okay, I found this on the web, for this is another book that I speak.
Oh, okay, Siri wasn't talking to you. But This is another book. It's a coming of age book about this girl named Mary Jane, where she's basically realizing that everybody don't live the same life as her parents. Her mom and dad are very either black and white, and Jane thinks that everybody that lives in her neighborhood are exactly like her parents. Her mom, a stay-at-home wife, and her dad goes out and get the money. But no, when she started working for I cannot talk. What's the name of the family? I cannot remember the name of the family, but when she started working for the Combs, she realized that that is not the case. They have very much of a lax parenting. They're much the wife. She do what she want to do in all of this. But it's a very good book. If you haven't read Mary Jane, you should read Mary Jane, because I absolutely love this book. 5 stars. The next question is a book that is becoming a TV show or movie. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I did hear once that Akatar is supposed to be becoming a Hulu series, and I cannot wait because I loved Akatar. I read the whole series except for A Court of Silver Flame. I haven't read that book yet. I haven't dove into A Court of Silver Flame yet, but I am going to read it next month in April. So this book right here, I cannot wait to see the movie or the TV show adaptation to this, because I want to see. I'm really scared. I'm not even gonna hold you, because I hope they don't like make the movie like the book. That's all I gotta say. Like, stop playing. Don't make it. A book that I've reread the most has to be It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This is another book that's I'm always claiming to be a fave, because I absolutely love Piper and Brendan. I love this book, so I've read this book multiple times. Anytime I'm in a slump, I find myself picking up this book or listening to it on audio, or if I'm just taking a low drive down the road to go somewhere, I'm listening to this on audio, because I just love Piper and Brandon. I just love that, just being in their world, their universe. Absolutely love it. The next one is, what genre you don't typically read? And mystery thrillers. Mystery thriller is one of the genres that I don't usually read. Every time I say genre, I think I do nuts. But anyways, it's mystery thriller is one of the genres I'm not used to reading. I don't usually read anything scary. Even though I'm born on Halloween, I'm not a very much thriller movie or thriller book girl, because we don't do that. I don't want our evil spirits around me. But the next question, a book that deserved all the hype. Listen, when people was hyping up Icebreaker, I thought it was crazy. I thought maybe like, okay, well, it's probably good, but it probably ain't that good. I did not expect this book to have so much spice in it. The spice that was in this book was crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. I actually enjoyed Anastasia and Nate. I love them. I love them together. I loved how he loved her. I just love this book. This book deserves all the hype it got. So if you haven't read Icebreaker, you should very much read it. A book that I usually recommend to people. Now, like I said, I'm not usually a thriller girly, but after reading a couple books outside of my comfort zone, I feel like the book that I would mainly recommend to people would be A House of Crossings. Like, if you're into thriller, and basically any Colleen Hoover book. If you just get into reading, I suggest reading either one of these books, because they're fast paced. You can get through them pretty quickly, and amazing books. Absolutely love this book, The House Across the Lake, Riley Sager. I really just want to dive back into The House Across the Lake again, because it was so good. So those are the 2 books I would recommend to anyone who just got back into reading. A book that has your favorite characters in it. Oh, now this one was pretty hard for me, because I pretty much enjoy all the characters in most of the books I read. So, but when I sat down and actually thought about it, I would have to say it got to be Hot House Flower. I love Daisy and Reich the most out of the courses. I love all of them, not even gonna hold you. I love all of them. Anything in Addicted Calloway, I adore. I love Rockin' Daisy the most though, because it's just fun, and it's just a vibe. They're a vibe. They're a vibe to me. They're very much a vibe. I feel like, I ain't gonna say that. Like, all of them were going through stuff, but I feel like they were just a vibe. Like, they were funny. They're fun to, like, I just love watching Reich and Daisy relationship. So, Hot House Flower. The next question is a book you wish you could live in. Another thing, same thing. I would love to live in the Didnt Kellaway world. I would love to live in that world because they seem like they have so much fun. They're genuine people. Well, they're not people, but genuine fiction characters. I absolutely love them. And if not that, I would live in Mile High. I would live in Mile High. I'm gonna just leave that there because Xander. Anywho, a book that I thought I would hate but didn't. Easy. Daisy Jones and the Six. I thought I was going to hate this book so much, mainly because I didn't understand like why it was written in like interview format, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, why do I have to read what people saying? But I end up reading and listening to this in audiobook and absolutely adored this book so much. I ended up giving this book a 5-star because of what this book is so good. They came out with a show about it. I haven't watched it yet, so we're gonna end up watching that sooner or later. And yeah, the next question is a book that made you cry. Now, I don't read too many sad books, but do I even have to say much? A Little Life. I don't even think I should have to say much about this book because this book was strictly written to traumatize you and to show you that everybody don't get a happy ending. Although I went into this book thinking like, okay, it's going to give me childhood. And first of all, I read up into like page 600 and something before I just DNF'd it because I could not go on anymore because it was traumatizing the heck out of me. I was like boohoo crying reading this book because I was just like, why is anyone trying to, like, I was listen, I have a whole video about how I felt about this book. Traumatizing. I went in thinking that, I think it was basically, I'm so used to reading books that with people getting happy endings that I just expected them to get a happy ending at the end of this book. I expected to go in, learn about their trauma, and at the end of the book find out like one of them got help, but that was not the case. When I got close to the end and stuff was still going on, I was like, I can't. And I flipped to the end of the book and somebody ended up passing away. I was just like, nope, not even finna continue to do this to myself. We just, y'all can have it. Good book, love the writing. Traumatizing. The last question is a book I wish I can read for the first time. That was a good question because I was lost on this question. I still don't know the answer because I want to read a whole bunch of books for the first time. But I would say Crescent City. I wish I could. I'm going to end up rereading this book because the next one come out in January and I cannot wait. But Crescent City, I wish I can reread this for the first time again because I absolutely enjoyed everyone in this book. I hated what happened to her friends. I wish that they could have been a part of her story, but yeah. But those are the books I have to recommend for you guys today. If you read any of those books, comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are on them. If you have any other books that you recommend from these questions, make your video, tag me in below. Well, let me know down below on your channel that you made a video and I'll head over and watch your video to get more book recommendations. And yeah, I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.